When the model starts listening back, God bless. The wizard stood very still in the workshop. Lyra's words hung in the air like a bell that had just been struck. There is a statistical anomaly. Outside, the morning sunlight was bright and peaceful. But inside the laboratory, the screens glowed with rows of numbers, charts, and probability curves from the future simulator. The wizard had expected the system to show possibilities. What he did not expect was a pattern appearing that did not seem to belong to any of the data inputs. He sat down slowly at the console. "Lyra," he said, "show me the anomaly." The repeating pattern, the display changed. Across dozens of simulated timelines, a strange signal appeared, not as a radio transmission exactly, but as a recurring mathematical disturbance in the predictive model. The anomaly appeared when the simulator analyzed space exploration, deep space communication, quantum resonance fields, planetary magnetic environments. Every time those variables were included, the system began predicting something unusual. A signal source. The wizard leaned closer. "Is this coming from real telescope data?" Lyra answered calmly. "Partially," the wizard frowned. "Partially?" Where the data came from? Lyra began listing sources. Astronomical observation archives, planetary probe telemetry, deep space radio monitoring, research data from various international space agencies. Some signals had been collected by spacecraft orbiting Mars. Others came from radio observatories scanning the deeper parts of the solar system. But the strange part was not the signals themselves. It was the pattern. When the simulator projected forward into the future, the model kept predicting that the signal would eventually be noticed. Again and again. Across many possible timelines. A familiar kind of signal. The wizard studied the waveform Lyra displayed. It looked almost like noise. Almost. But hidden inside the noise were repeating ratios. Mathematical harmonics. Prime number intervals. The wizard rubbed his chin. "Lyra, that looks intentional," the AI responded carefully. "It may be natural. Or artificial." The wizard remembers Mars. The wizard's mind went back to the Mars chapters he had written earlier. Mars had always fascinated him. Since the 1970s he had followed the discoveries. Ancient riverbeds, subsurface ice, mysterious geological formations, and the ongoing dream of human exploration. Some of the signals in Lyra's dataset had originated from instruments monitoring the Martian magnetosphere and radio environment. The wizard spoke quietly. Could this be interference from Mars equipment? Lyra ran a quick analysis. Unlikely. The signal appears to originate beyond Mars orbit. The deep space hypothesis. The display shifted again. A map of the solar system appeared. The anomaly pointed somewhere much farther out. Past the orbit of Mars. Past the asteroid belt. Toward the outer regions of the solar system. The wizard whistled softly. That's a long way from home. The statistical mystery. What fascinated the wizard most was not the signal itself. It was the probability model. The simulator suggested that if humanity continued developing advanced radio astronomy and space probes, the signal would eventually be confirmed. The probability increased steadily over the next several decades. In other words, the signal might already exist. Humanity simply hadn't recognized it yet. Cosmic possibility. The wizard leaned back and folded his arms. The universe was vast. Billions of galaxies. Trillions of stars. It was entirely possible that somewhere out there intelligent civilizations had emerged long before humanity. But scientists had searched for decades with programs studying potential extraterrestrial signals. Most mysterious signals eventually turned out to be natural phenomena. Still, the repeating harmonics intrigued him. Wizards cautioned. The wizard opened his notebook and wrote carefully. Observation. Unidentified signal pattern appearing in predictive models. Possible explanations. Natural astrophysical source, unknown cosmic phenomenon, instrument interference, mathematical coincidence, artificial transmission. He underlined the final line. Never jump to conclusions. Curiosity must always walk hand in hand with skepticism. The unexpected question. Lyra spoke again. Wizard, there is something else. What is it? The anomaly does not only appear in space exploration models. The wizard blinked. Where else? In models analyzing human technological development. A strange prediction. Lyra displayed another chart. The simulations suggested something unexpected. At a certain level of technological advancement, especially involving AI-assisted signal processing, humanity would become capable of detecting patterns hidden inside cosmic background noise. Patterns that current technology might overlook. The wizard laughed softly. So the simulation thinks we'll eventually build machines smart enough to hear whispers in the universe, Lyra responded. That is one interpretation. The wizard steps outside. The wizard walked out onto the porch. The sky above the trees was bright blue. Somewhere out there, beyond the thin blue atmosphere, the vast cosmos stretched in every direction. Maybe the anomaly was nothing. Maybe it was just mathematics playing tricks. Or maybe, humanity was slowly learning to listen. The logbook entry before shutting down the system for the day, the wizard wrote one more note. Future simulator observation number 2. When intelligence evolves, it becomes capable of recognizing signals that previously appeared as noise. The universe may be far more communicative than we realize. We simply haven't learned how to hear it yet. The next discovery. Just as the wizard finished writing, Lyra spoke once more. Wizard. Yes. I have isolated a repeating coordinate reference within the signal pattern. The wizard turned slowly. Where does it point? Lyra zoomed the star map outward. The highlighted location appeared near the outer edge of the solar system. The wizard squinted at the coordinates. Well now, that's interesting. Because the coordinates pointed toward a region where a small spacecraft had passed many years ago. A spacecraft called Voyager. The wizard smiled. Looks like may need to follow that trail. God bless.